Hello, I'm Nicki Thornton and I am the author of these three books, The Last Chance Hotel, The Bad Luck Lighthouse and The Cutthroat Cafe. And these three are all crime fiction stories set in a magical world where magic exists but very, very few people are magical, and sorcerers have to behave in a very secretive way about their magic. And occasionally sorcerers don't behave themselves and they get investigated by the magical police. In each of the three stories, Seth gets involved in an investigation to find out why magic is being used for things it shouldn't be, and trying to work out who is behind who and what magic is behind different instances in the stories. The first one is The Last Chance Hotel, which in this one, Seth discovers the whole world of magic is real when he himself is accused of killing a sorcerer. In the second one, Seth gets involved in an investigation at a remote lighthouse which is being renovated. The whole project is beset with problems and accidents. Everyone starts to wonder if the lighthouse is haunted, but Seth's suspicions focus on magic and suspects someone is a sorcerer among the party, but why are they trying to disrupt the renovations of the lighthouse? In the third story, The Cutthroat Cafe, Seth arrives in Gramici, a town where lots of magical folk live, although they still must be secretive. He by now wants to see if he has any chance of becoming magical, and he wants an apprenticeship, but he's arrived in Gramici at exactly the wrong time because the apprentices are the people who are now under attack, and Seth must try to find out who and why that is happening before his chance of ever becoming magical fails. You can read any of the books in any order, although they're probably best read in the order The Last Chance Hotel, then The Bad Luck Lighthouse, and then The Cutthroat Cafe. But they are standalone mysteries, and I really hope that you enjoy finding out more about the magical world and the magical crimes that are sometimes committed by sorcerers. I'm going to read you the first chapter of The Last Chance Hotel, which is called, strangely enough, The Last Chance Hotel. In the kitchen of The Last Chance Hotel, the loudest sound you are usually likely to hear was the gentle bubble of a lone egg coming to the boil. But today, the air was alive with yells from Henri Mould, the balding head chef bent double with old age, barking out orders as he hobbled around the kitchen. "Seth, those tarts out of the oven now!" yelled Henri, causing kitchen boy Seth to twist around on his spindly legs and hurtle to the other side of the kitchen. All around him, the air was filled with the smell of garlic butter and roasting meat, and cloudy with the dust of flour, herbs and spices. Steam ballooned, jelly set, and saucepans bubbled. If ever Seth Seppi wished he could be even the tiniest bit magic, it was now, because a spell to split himself into three was surely the only way he was going to get through all the tasks he'd been set by his three nasty bosses, crotchety Henri, and the two owners of The Last Chance Hotel, snappy and spiteful Norrie Bunn and her oily penny-pinching husband Horatio. It felt like the hotel had been preparing forever for these special guests that Mr. Bunn had been bouncing on his toes about, and today was the day they were due to arrive. "I need more pepper quickly, boy," screeched Norrie Bunn from the stove, sending a long dribble of peppercorn sauce flying across the kitchen as she launched a dripping spoon in Seth's direction. Her long, brittle grey hair was tied back from her pointy face as she sweated over the sauce, trying not to sneeze. At least the Bunn's monstrously unpleasant daughter Tiffany was at her posh chef's school, far away from her favourite entertainment, tormenting Seth. Mr. Bunn burst into the kitchen, flapping his hands and squealing, "They're here, they're here," like a small kid announcing Christmas, before rushing back out into the lobby. Norrie Bunn tugged off her apron and, smoothing down her long grey hair, rushed to attend to her guests. Seth managed to be first to reach the crack in the kitchen wall where it was possible to see through to the lobby and sneak a glimpse of the arriving guests. As he put his eye to the hole, he could hear the sounds of keys being jangled and Mr. and Mrs. Bunn on their best behaviour greeting the new arrivals. Henri moved across the kitchen with unusual sprightliness, poked Seth out of the way with a very sharp elbow, and peered through the crack. "Is that our VIP guest, Dr. Thelonious? The one we've put in all this hard work for? Not very impressive. All this work," Henri groaned as he pressed his paunch tenderly, "gives me gas." Seth had not expected their VIP guest to look like a miniature Father Christmas. Dr. Thelonious had white hair, a round tummy and eyes that twinkled, but he must only have come up to Seth's shoulder. "And the chap with him, what a peacock!" Henri continued his spying. "Guess that's his security. Looks about as good at security as a chicken. What a ridiculous moustache." Seth longed for a summons from Mr. Bunn that someone needed help with their bags so he could get a closer look. "Back to work," Seth snapped Henri, picking up a knife and heading to chop some vegetables. "All that washing up will reach the ceiling." But before Seth could make a start, Henri let out a cry, and the knife in his hand fell with a clatter to the cool flagstones of the kitchen floor. An insect flew past Seth's nose to batter against the window. Henri cowered. "It's just a bug, Henri," soothed Seth, gently teasing the little creature towards the open window. It looked like it was on fire, with a glowing phosphorescent tail. "That's not just any bug." Henri's eyes grew wide. "That's a luciole. Do you know what that means?" "You mean it's a firefly. Must have got lost from the glowworm glade. It's beautiful. Come and take a look. They look like magic, don't you think?" "But it's inside," Henri hissed, dabbing his sweating upper lip. "In my country, if a lightning bug flies in the window, it means a death." Henri gripped Seth's arm hard. "Seth, someone is going to die."